So this video is about assisting my imaginary sister in England, right, belonging to the throne, um, to accept the fall of the British monarchy, right. This video is for my imaginary sister, right, because them videos on YouTube there was like, this is about your sister, right. This is about your sister, right? My imaginary sister in England, the daughter or the granddaughter, whoever, of the throne, right, in England, right, to accept the fall, the fall of the kings and the queens, right, the accepting the falls of the kings and queens, right, of the British royal monarchy, right. These videos is just to help my imaginary sister or sisters. I wanted a sister, right? I wanted a sister, right? Somebody just like me, right? Um, to accept the fall of the British monarchy, right? The fall of the power of the British monarchy, the royalty that is. I mean, and the kings and the queens, kings, queens, and queens, and the queen, kings, and queens of England, right? The fall as in death or the fall of power, right, of royalty in England, in the British monarchy, right? So is about learning that we are not immortal, we are mortal beings, right? And those who had their power invested, those who were in rulership in those arenas, right, must accept that their leadership at some point must come to an end, right? And that I don't mean to laugh really, right? But trust me, people just laugh at everybody dead, right? People is hey, everybody dead is be a comedy to somebody else. Always know that, right? That's why we shouldn't be going around taking life so serious, because everybody dead, right, is actually be a comedy or a laughter or somebody dead is always bring somebody else's joy, right? Guess what? Everybody who die, right, it could bring sadness to one person, it could bring happiness to the next person. Trust me, right? If your father die or my father die, right, I might be sad a little bit, right, but somebody else might be happy, right? When somebody dies, all you know, the people who run and the satanic earth that we live in, you all know that when somebody dies, anybody on earth dies, right? The satanic world that's running the world, satanic reality that's running the world, right? They actually get joy off of that. Somebody died, right? Especially right after they retire, right? When you die and die, especially after having served, right, the institutions, right? Say you suppose you finish work at 60 and you die at 62, right? Do you know that the satanic reality actually rejoices in this fact, right? The satanic reality actually rejoices in this fact of the timing of your death, right? Because it means that, hey, I brought you, you were brought into the world, you fulfill the satanic purpose I was called here to fulfill, which is you serve our institutions, you complete serving our institutions, and then we get rid of you. Right? So that is, I agree, something to be celebrated, however, not in the way that these people do it. So I am not part of that reality, right? I celebrate that regardless, right? You know, I am somebody, I'll celebrate your person and my person, right? Regardless, young, old, you die as a baby, you die at 100 years, right? Regardless if you die as a baby or 100 years, I celebrate that. But you know, to have some reality, and we exist in our satanic reality, that satanic reality is celebrate the death of people who die just after they retire, right? Because it means that we just pump you out, right? Make you fulfill our purpose, and then goodbye, right? Anyhow, so these are the people who just be energy harvesting offer your energy, right, in order to sustain their life. So you know that people on earth living all up to 500 years, something, 1,000 years, all kind of thing, right? So we are mortalizing the immortal. That is what this journey is about, mortalizing the immortal, right? We don't want nobody sucking on our blood, sweat, tears, right? So it's about mortalizing the that which people believe that they cannot be immortal in life. You can't be immortal, right? You're not meant to be immortal. We're meant to pass one day. Every day I feel like I'm dying. right? We're meant to pass away someday, right? So we shouldn't be going around thinking, oh, I am the queen of this royal position. I'm the royal position. I am the king. I am the queen, right? We shouldn't go about feeling that way or acting in that way, like if we're going to live forever, because we're not. You're not going to live forever, right? So if it is that you live, you perform your duty, right? You perform that which you're required to do, as well as hey, you enjoy yourself. Also, you damn well live off the freaking backs, right? Everybody on the face of the flipping planet, right? You might as well just accept your debt, right? And the others, your descendants, whoever it is, accept your debt, right? Acceptance of your passing, right? There's a harsh reality, right? You live good, you do what you have to do, right? And you damn well live off the backs, right? Of everybody on the planet, right? So your death, so your death is something to be celebrated, right? To all the kings and queens out there who are passing, right? All the kings and queens out there, right? Royalty from a side, right? Elite royalty from a side. Anybody who's passing, right? Your death ought to be celebrated, right? And ought to be celebrated by the people of the earth, right? So right. So this is helping my sister in England, right, to deal with these kind of realities, right? These kind of realities, because we do it is the inevitable, right? So even if you think, and I just certain things just come unexpected and just come to wake you up, it's unexpected and just come to wake you up, right? Because you're there thinking your grandfather, your uncle, right, gonna be here forever, never, never, amen, right? You're thinking your grandfather, your uncle, this person, that person, whoever he is to you, right, going to be here forever and ever, amen, and he not, right? He dead, right? So that is what it is about. Is one detaching not only from royalty but detaching from life, right? So two things hitting you at once. Two things hitting you at once, right? That royalty has fallen and his life has fallen, right? Not only did power fall, not only did the power fall that was invested in you all, but also the life has fallen. And life has fallen, right? So this is what this video is making clear to you and to us all on earth, right? It is a cool reminder, right? To giving everybody a cool reminder, right? Just passing through, right? Passing through, right? With no trace and no record, right? Passing through with no trace and no record, right? You all know that's how the unseen does work, right? The unseen works, right? By no record. There's no record of the unseen, right? So even if there's something that you saw, right? Even if there's something you saw and you think that you had access to the unseen, you really don't. Because you realize, hey, nobody have access to the unseen other than Allah, right? It's only Allah. Because I can only think, right? I can only imagine that I have access to a part of Allah's reality, but I don't. Right? I don't at the end of the day, and I don't know. Right? So I can only imagine that this is what life is. Or I can only imagine this is what my future is. I could only imagine that this was somebody else's future is. But you don't. You don't have access to that information at all. You have access to your mind, right? You have access to your thoughts and probably a collective thoughts, meaning other people's thoughts. You probably have other people's thoughts in your mind. You probably have your thoughts. You have your thoughts, and you have access to other people's thoughts probably. But you can never have access to the completeness of Allah's knowledge, right? And He could stop what He wills, propel what He wills in whatever direction, right? So this is that there is really no, even if you think that you want to humble somebody, humiliate somebody, right? Hey, you really have no access, right? And nobody could do them things, and nobody have no complete access, right, to what Allah is be doing, right? So there is no, the unseen is without a trace, right? The unseen realm, how it operates, is actually without a trace, right? So I am making this video say I'm actually seen because I'm public. I'm not the unseen, right? People thinking I hear some whisper Joy as the unseen. I am not the unseen. I'm making this video here publicly. I'm not the unseen. I'm seen. I have a face, right? I have a face. Right? I am actually the seen. I'm very seen. I'm very visible, right? So the unseen actually is without a trace, without a record. There's no record, right? Akashic record is nothing, right? There's no record, There's no record of the there's no record of the unseen realm and how it operates in full, right? So that's just that. Right, good.